Hey man, so I just want to take a second and kind of give you a little demo of what I was talking about because I think it'll help you understand rather than just reading it. So I'm going to use my Fitness Pal, so it's the one on the right here with the Under Armour logo on it. So I'm going to open that up. Maybe you've used it before. So I'm just going to skip to another day because the video that I did before this didn't work. So, all right. So let's say that we're using the example that I cited in the text I sent you. So somebody that's 100 pounds. All right, and I said, so we're trying to find calories, taking that body weight, multiply it by 18. So, and then a protein goal of that body weight times 1.5. So for a 100-pound person, that means I'm trying to hit a calorie goal of 1,800 calories and a protein goal of at least 150 grams of protein. So I also talked about like doing your protein first and then kind of going out from there. So I just want to kind of show you what that looked like. So let's say, for example, I'm going to add my protein first. So how I'm going to do that is let's just pick some steam fresh. Let's go egg whites. All right. So I hit 160 goals. That's 6 cups of egg whites. I obviously wouldn't expect you to be doing, 6 cups of egg whites, but just because that's a nice, easy way to get to that 160 goal. So 160 grams of protein. Egg whites, again, not the best, in terms of hitting the calories, in terms of this example, because as you can see, there's literally zero fat, zero carbs. Egg whites almost entirely protein. So I'm just going to use that though for an example. So you see where it says food, that's 800 calories. That means once I hit my protein goal, I hit 800 calories. It'll probably be more than that if you're using, chicken, steak, other cuts of meat like that, just because they have, fat and stuff like that. So they're going to have a little bit more calories to them. Um, Okay, so I hit 800. I'm trying to get another 1,000 calories in based on the example that I sent. So I'm going to do stuff like, let's say I eat 2 avocados. I'm going to fill in the rest of this with things that are more considered healthy fats or carbs. And I try to get a lot of that from veggies. So try not to fill in a lot of the carbs with, you know, um, rice and stuff like that. Think of veggies as your carb. With that being said, veggies are not very high in calories, so you probably will have to add, some stuff like that. The avocados I showed, maybe some rice here or there. Try and go like brown rice or sweet potato stuff that's a little bit more carby, but isn't as much, along the white rice kind of thing. All right. So, anyways, so I'm at about 1,200 calories now, almost 1,300. So, steam freshes. These are just like the bags that you buy in the freezer at Hannaford. These ones are broccoli. Because I eat those all the time, just because they're so easy. Toss them in the microwave for 5 minutes, and then just open the bag and pour out the broccoli. So I'm just going to use those. So 2 packages of those. I'm up to about 1,500 calories. Let's see, what else can I use here that I've used? All right. Butter. Where'd that one go? I just used it. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Some Lighthouse, so like ranch dressing, decent ranch dressing. This is Lighthouse. They keep it at They have it at Hannaford. It's usually where the produce is. It's like a little bit better for you. It doesn't have a lot of added sugar like a lot of like the ranches and junk like that does. Those other ones will work, but that's the one I'm using. So I'm at 1692. What can I just add here? Whatever. 1 cup of protein on sweet um, almond milk. Okay, so you kind of saw exactly how the process went, and that's how I would suggest you do it. Start with your protein. So you know that steak has protein. You know that chicken has protein. You know that ham has protein. You know that, X, Y, and Z. You know what your proteins are. Try not to think of things like quinoa or peanut butter as proteins. Whatever is the protein should be like 2 or 3 to 1 in terms of protein to fat or carbs. So like, for example, peanut butter has, a ton of fat and very little protein, but people think of it as a protein, and that's why people can eat a ton of peanut butter and end up, gaining weight and things like that. Um, So again, regardless, I kind of got off topic there, but egg whites. So start with your proteins. That's why I started with the egg whites. Start with your, 4 ounces of steak, and then go back and add 6 ounces of chicken, and just find a range of numbers that gets you up to that 150 grams or whatever the grams come out to when you multiply your body weight times 1.5, and then from there add in the other stuff, and kind of see what that looks like on a day's worth of eating. And if it seems like just a shit ton of food, like if you try and use a lot of veggies, you're probably going to run into that, especially because you'll probably need to eat a pretty decent amount. That's where you can add in things like peanut butter or stuff along those lines, stuff that's a little bit more calorically dense, so you're hitting those numbers, but not feeling like you have to stuff yourself at every meal. All right, man. So that's a very general way to start. I'm not saying that if you want to food log and want me to have a look at it, fantastic. I'm certainly not telling you that you have to do that. All I am using this example for is just so because it helps to see what that amount of calories and protein looks like. Otherwise, you're just kind of shooting at random numbers. You may not hit the amount of calories you actually want to hit. You may not hit the protein that you want to hit. You may be too low on one or the other, or too high on one or the other. But it's always good to get a feel for what 1,800 calories, where 160 of it are protein, looks like. All right, man. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to answer anything you got. Thanks, man.